how often am I redundant, right? I'm very redundant, right? Well, it's because the principles for success are very simple. They're cross-industrial. It doesn't matter what industry that you're in. You understand these things about our reality, well, you get significantly better results, right? And then all it is, I'd rather talk less. I'd rather see you guys go take action. I'd rather see you guys get up and, call someone. If you guys have a business deal that you've been procrastinating on, there's a client that you need to close, there's someone that you love but you haven't told them yet, I'd rather see you guys do that, take action. I'm actually curious. I want to get to know you guys. Why did you guys come? What was the main thing that got you excited about coming? If you could just go, if anybody wants to voluntarily, go ahead and shout it out. What made you come here? Was it to make more money? Okay, change. I heard money. What else?
Circle of influence.
Circle of influence. The people you surround yourself with. What else? Transformation. They call me the transformation sensei, so we're in the same room. Okay. What else? Destroy limiting beliefs. Okay, so if you guys want to make more money, say yes. If you guys want to destroy limiting beliefs, say yes. If you guys want to be the very best version of yourself, say yes. That's the energy, baby. And that's exactly how you get in control of your reality, because the energy that you bring to the table is going to dictate the circumstances that you live. When you're that powerful, the electricity goes out. So, I don't think that's a coincidence at all, okay? I'm a very big believer in that when you decide on what you want, the universe conspires for you to achieve greatness. And now, this to me, what this does, at least for me, it creates a more intimate environment, right? No one else is here. Not even anyone online can see this stuff. It's just us here. And I think that's ultimately what creates and facilitates transformation. I think when you have good community, good tribe, good energy, that ultimately gets you to a place where you have such a large energetic bandwidth that whatever goals you have, they become easily attainable, right? Of course you're going to have to work hard. Of course you're going to have to do things that are uncomfortable. Of course you're going to have to grow and expand as a person, but being that person becomes very, very simple. There's no guesswork. There's no uncertainty. There's just confidence and power, okay? So what I want to go over, we're back, baby. All right. So what I want to go over with you guys today are 3 key principles, 3 ideas and perceptions and lenses of which you can see the world. And the way I was able to cultivate this perception of reality, the way I was able to develop this lens of the world, a lens that serves me, a lens that gets me high quality results, is through many years of study. I've sought world-class mentors, I've sought world-class friends to have in my circle, because when you have those people in your circle, well, guess what? You start to expand into that reality. Someone said circle of influence, right? The people you surround yourself are going to dictate the reality that you live in. And so would it not be intelligent? Would it not be proactive for you to find those people intentionally? Well, I did those things. And, there's a lot of different people. There's a diverse group of people here. There's people that are absolutely crushing it in their business and in their finances. There's people that are in the best shape of their lives. There's people that are working 9 to 5 and maybe not making ends meet. So maybe some of you guys are struggling to pay the bill, struggling to pay the rent. Now every single person that I just described, there's something that you're looking for here. So the person who's making a lot of money, maybe they don't have the time freedom to enjoy what they've created, okay? Or maybe they have the time freedom and they have the money, but they don't have the freedom of expression. They aren't able to express themselves exactly the way that they want to, and they're not able to create compelling conversation with people. They might even have all the resources in the world, but they don't have status. No one views them as an authority, right? How many people do we know that they have all the money, everything that you can ever want, but yet you don't view them as an authority, right? We all know people like that. You might have the opposite thing. You might have no financial resources. You might not be in a position where you have complete and total freedom, and then that's what you want. But maybe you have that confidence. So whatever circumstance you're experiencing right now, when you master your mind, you master your reality. And those are the main things I want to go over with you guys today. And I have 3 things, right? Of all the study that I've done, of all the people that I've worked with, I've had more than 800 of my own personal clients, and I've mentored all types of people. I've mentored millionaires. I've mentored people that are broke, people that are just starting out. I've mentored people that are spiritual, like super, super spiritual. I've mentored people that are not that. I've mentored people to get in the best shape of their life. So when you master your mind, the reality that you live in, you get high quality results in everything. So there's 3 things I want to go over with you. The very first one is this: polarity. Okay, does anybody know what that means? Shout it out. Come on, participate. 2 sides, okay? What's it? Yeah, okay. So it's when think about temperature, right? There's hot and there's cold, okay? There's hot and there's cold. Think about the seasons, right? There's winter and then there's summer. So everything in life has polarity. Now, the reason I say this is because depending on what season you are in life, you need to assimilate to what that season is, okay? And I'll give you a perfect example of this. I had a client come to me, and he runs a multi-seven-figure e-commerce business. Now, this guy works super hard. I don't know is anybody here in e-commerce? Say yes. Yeah, okay, okay, cool. So he works in e-commerce, multi-seven-figure business, and he was asking me about how to relax. That was the question that he had. He goes, how do I relax? I feel like I'm working super hard. I feel like every single month I have this massive project. I'm trying to launch a new store, whatever. I'm not like the e-com expert, but I know enough about it because of my clients. And this is what I told him right here. I told him polarity, okay? It depends on what season of life that you're in. So there's the macro seasons of life, and then there's the micro seasons of life. The macro seasons of life are, you might be in a period of a few months of time where you're supposed to celebrate, you're supposed to rest, you're supposed to do something that's less about work and more about being in tune with yourself, being connected with who you are. Okay? And then there's the period of work where you work intensely. You wake up at 5 a.m. You crush the gym every single day. You burn both ends of the candles, as they say, when it comes to your business and your life. Okay? Now, the thing that people miss, and this is what this is evidence of, if someone isn't a master of their mind, they're not able to allow themselves to be themselves. Okay? They're not able to give themselves that gift of rest and relaxation. Right? How many times have you heard someone like a David Goggins or something say, work, keep working, keep going, pick up the boats, work out, like all those things. And I'm the same way. I wake up every single morning at 5 a.m. However, because I'm a master of myself, I'm a master of my mind, I'm able to allow myself to have moments of proper rest. And the reason that this is important is because when you step into a period of intense work, you need to be rested and prepared for it. Okay? And this is why it's important to understand the polarities of life, to understand which season you're in, because if you miss that opportunity to rest, when that next season of work comes, you won't be fully dialed in. You'll be exhausted already. You wouldn't have given yourself the time to recover, reflect, whatever it looks like, whatever rest looks like for you. If you didn't give yourself the gift to receive that, well, guess what? When that period of work comes, you're not going to be prepared. Okay? So something I always tell my clients and to the people in my circuit, it's like, look, just recognize, listen to yourself, develop such a deep connection with yourself that you can understand in a moment's notice what season of life that you're in. Like even me personally, I'm coming into a season of massive work. So what did I do the last 2 or 3 months? Was I working every single day, like grinding super hard? No, like for me, the grind often looks like spending some time to develop the vision. The work that you guys are doing right now, all the goals that you're writing down, all of the mindset exercises of specifically outlining what you want out of your life, right? That's a very active principle when it comes to reflection. So you guys are in that moment right now, okay? Now that's exactly what I do when I rest. And it's because I understand polarity, okay? That's one of the first things you can do to master your mind. Now, the second one is to understand awareness. Anybody in here meditate? Cool. Oh, we got a lot of meditators. Amazing. How often are you meditating? 20 minutes? How often do you meditate? Every single day? How long? Oh, beautiful. What happens when you meditate? I love it. I love it. Okay, so he gets it, right? What did you just hear from him? And if on Zoom, if you didn't hear what he said when he meditates, he steps into the quantum realm and creates exactly what he wants. He said it in those terms, right? What is that evidence of? Aware. You guys understand what awareness is? Say yes. Yes. Say yes. Yes. Bring the energy. Say yes. Yes. Woo! All right. Awareness. Okay. So awareness, there's a certain sense of intelligence and geniusness that happens when you tap into awareness. Okay? Now, you'll find that the most successful people in this room are also very aware. Marcel, one of the most aware people I've ever known. Last night, we went for a drive. Before seminars, we don't party, we don't, do anything too extravagant, right? But we went for a drive. I'm not from here, I'm from Miami. So he showed me the hills. I love mountains. I love overlooking views and stuff. So he showed me some of the mountain views of some of the neighborhoods he grew up in. And he was telling me some stories. We were sharing stories back and forth, talking about love, all these different things, right? We went to a restaurant called Monty's, okay? Now, Monty's, they serve like steak and lobster and stuff. When we walked out of the restaurant, okay, I was about to walk into the restroom, and Marcel goes, no, Jose, come. And I'm like, well, what's going on, right? So we walk out the restaurant, And he goes, we got to get the keys and we got to go. I'm like, is this like a movie or something? Like, what's going on? Like James Bond, like sneaking out of the venue, right? And the valet people weren't at the valet stand. So Marcel goes and starts like finding the keys himself. He leaves $20 on the valet tab on the countertop, and we jump in the car and we go. And as we're driving off, he goes, you didn't see that guy, but I saw him. There was a guy. His plate was empty, and he was pretending to eat ribs. He was pretending to eat ribs, but there was no meat on the rib. And he triple took, like he looked up 3 times at me, and then started calling to the waiter for the bill so he can get. And Marcel goes, I just had a really sketchy feeling about it. We got to go. He's like, you're not going to the bathroom. We're jumping in the car and we're speeding off. Okay, that's extreme awareness, right? You're so aware of your surroundings that nothing gets by you. All the opportunities that are available at your disposal are easy for you to capitalize on. So the story of what I just said about Marcel yesterday is something more about like spatial and situational awareness, but it's even more important to understand the awareness of the opportunities that are in your life, the relationships that you can tap into in order to gain more, the people that you can surround yourself with, because you're so aware of what it is that you want that it becomes difficult, right? I stepped in earlier and Marcel was talking about how it's hard to lose. It's extremely hard to lose when you have this kind of awareness. Nothing gets by you. You'll know when your girlfriend's cheating on you. You'll know when someone's screwing you over in business. You'll know exactly when someone's a perfect fit for your business, and you can deliver a powerful call to action. You can jump up on stage and not have anything prepared and just talk about things, right? And it's because you have extreme awareness, and you can almost feel the energy between people. You can feel the energy between you and others. And it's that energy that manifests exactly what you want. I know it's a kind of a played out word in the spiritual, right? The spiritual community, manifest, right? To me, manifest it's not about sitting on the couch and be like, ooh, like, I'm driving the car. No, like do those things, right? Definitely visualize what it is that you want, but also there's an active principle in manifestation. You can't just expect to sit on the couch all day and expect beautiful things to happen to you. No, you're aware enough to know that I have to go interact with the world. I have to go get out of my comfort zone. I have to go shake a hand and make a friend. I have to make a difficult phone call. All these things, okay? Now, this is evidence of awareness. And the way you cultivate awareness, it can be through meditation. It can be through a lot of these exercises. One of the things that literally saved my life was journaling and something I call the 3 sacred questions, okay? These questions literally saved my life. So if anybody knows me and knows anything about my story, a few years ago, I had massive depression and anxiety. I was actually clinically diagnosed with major depression and anxiety from a therapist. And the reason I was so emotionally abusive towards myself and I had so much self-hatred was because my awareness was tuned into all of the lack of value that I had as a person, all of my insecurities, all of the doubts that I had in myself. And so the way that manifested was I finished university and I just didn't know what to do. Has anybody ever felt hopeless before? Has anybody ever felt like, man, I have no idea what I want to do with my life? Has anybody felt unattractive? Okay, these are all things that were literally very present in my awareness. And the thing that changed my awareness was when I started to think about my reality differently. And so as I'm sleeping on an air mattress in a 1-bedroom apartment with my parents, I had no job, I had no income, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I knew I had big goals and big dreams. I knew for certain I wasn't gonna get a 9-to-5 job like everybody else. I knew that wasn't my reality. I knew I had more in me. I knew that there was a future version of myself that was doing exactly what he wanted in the way that he saw fit, with nobody telling him what to do. Complete control over the circumstances that I experienced. And the way that I was able to create that for myself was because I became aware. And it started with the 3 sacred questions, and I'll just give you the 3 sacred questions. Number 1, write this down. This will be an exercise that I want you guys to do. I want you guys to do this exercise while we're at lunch. Okay, so when we break for lunch, I'm going to give you the questions right now, so that way you can start to think about it. But number 1 is, perception is reality. This is the 3rd thing I want you guys to understand. Perception is reality. Now, this will help you master your mindset. This will create mastery, because when you change your perception, because you understand the nature of our reality and you become very, very aware of what you actually want, then your perception starts to change. And when your perception starts to change, your reality molds to that perception. So if you think If you think and feel as the version of yourself that has complete freedom and complete confidence to express yourself exactly the way you want, well, guess what? You'll become a compelling speaker. You'll create relationships with people that are so gratifying, that are so loving and trusting, because you've changed your perception. If you view yourself as a millionaire, well, guess what? When you step into situations and negotiations with people, the energy that you'll bring to the table is that of a millionaire. If you view yourself, literally your body, your physique literally won't respond in the gym. You can work out every single day. How many of you guys know people that work out every single day, but they don't make much progress? I know a ton of people. I know people that take steroids and they have no progress, right? Because what is their perception? Their perception is focused on the fact that they don't look good, and thus they get that reality. I only work out like 4 times a week, right? I get a lot of steps in, right? And I still have a six-pack. Why? Well, it's because every time I look at myself in the mirror, I'm like, damn, you look good. Every time I'm in the mirror, I'm like, yeah, like I'm flexing, right? And that's because my perception is I'm in shape. My perception is I look good. My perception is my physique is top 5%, okay? When you shift that perception of your reality to something that's so much more abundant, you get those results. Now, I had a client that came to me. They had similar to the first guy I talked about, the e-com guy. And he came to me and he was saying, hey, Jose, I have this relationship. I'm married, okay? Now, my wife, he's about my age, so I'm 28 years old. And he goes, my wife, she's amazing. She makes good money. She's really supportive, okay? But the thing is, she's holding me back from going after my business goals because I want to be an entrepreneur. He works for, he does like payroll service. He makes like, mid six figures, like 150, 200K a year. Now he wants to make millions. And his wife, they both graduated from university. They're college sweethearts, okay? And when they graduated university together, they both got these nice jobs. So they're making okay money. But in order to get to that next level, he has to do something that's very, very uncomfortable. Okay? So what is his wife focused on? If you guys had to guess, what is my client's wife focused on? Stability. Security. What else? Family. Well, they have a dog, I guess. But yeah. Independence. What else? Time. Okay. Right. So she's focused on how things can go wrong. Oh man, I'm not going to have any time to see my husband. Oh man, what if he blows it? What if he loses all the money? What if we no longer have security? And guess what? Security is a myth. Security is a perception of my, like people think they have security. Guess what happened 3 years ago? Like security it's literally, like, there is no security. There's no guarantees of anything, okay? So, exactly. It's the perception of security that keeps people stuck. It's the perception that they have no options that keeps people stuck. It's the perception that business is difficult, high-level circumstances are difficult to acquire, and only a few people get there, and if I try, I'm going to fail and be left with nothing. It's that perception that keeps you stuck, okay? So what did I tell my client? Break up with her. No, okay, no. Kick her out. No. I told him, like, I'm not that guy, by the way. I'm not the guy who's like, well, my girlfriend said this. Like, should I get? It really depends. Sometimes, yes, you need to go. Bye. Next, right? Other times, their perception is wired incorrectly. That's the thing, right? Like, if you guys ever had big goals and dreams and your parents tried to talk you out of it, it's not that they don't believe in you. It's that they want what's best for you. And they think that you're making a horrible decision, okay? And I think every person that's ever stepped into success knows what I'm talking about here because your parents tried to talk you out of it. No, go get the job. No, go for the comfort and security. Go for stability, right? But then once you start making it, once they see, oh shit, he's actually doing it. Now they're your biggest supporters. They're like, yeah, keep going, right? So what I told them was, you need to change your wife's perception, okay? And how did I get him to change his wife's perception? I made him an absolute expert at communicating his goal to her. I made him an absolute expert at being able to elicit exactly what he's stepping into with confidence, right? Because put yourself in his wife's shoes. Oh my gosh, my husband, he's going to risk the 401k. We're trying to have kids soon. We're about to turn 30. We need more stability. They live in Seattle too, right? We live in Seattle. Taxes are high. Like, what if I'm not able to support this, right? So she's just fear. She's in fear. And so the way you eliminate fear, someone said earlier that you wanted to eliminate and destroy limiting beliefs. The way you eliminate that is a perception of confidence. Take out the word perception. Fuck perception. Just be confident. And when you communicate that confidence to the people in your circle, guess what? They start to believe in you. And when the people start to believe in you, it's like an upward spiral of success. It's like this, the success becomes hard to miss. It becomes hard to miss those things, right? So now he's working on his business. Now he's well on his way to success. He just started it, and I've helped him, to figure it out. To be able to deliver a strategy to someone to get them on your team, okay? This is part of mindset mastery, because when you master your reality, you can enroll people. You can enroll people, not in a program, but you can enroll them into a better existence, right? You guys have already heard this, right? Success, it's a team sport, right? If you want to have high-level outcomes, you need to have amazing people on your team. You need to have amazing people on your tribe, okay? So when you can enroll those people into a bigger reality where things are more abundant, where there's more freedom, where there's more resources to go around, well, guess what? You get those things. So shifting perception. How else can you master your mindset? Because remember, I want you guys to be thinking and feeling as the most expansive version of yourself. Because when you are expansive, you have more bandwidth to bring in more. Have you guys ever seen someone who's just so intuitive with business that they can run 7 different businesses at the same time, right? Tony Robbins, he runs 87 businesses. It's not that he's actively managing these businesses. It's that his energetic bandwidth is so high that he's able to piece up his attention and energy in the way that affects and influences these businesses for greater, right? You guys get that? Is that something you guys want to cultivate in yourself, where you have a high energetic bandwidth? Yes? Yes. Say yes. 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 Beautiful. When you master your mind, you have that energy automatically. If I can be honest with you guys, sometimes I feel as though once you master your mind, it just becomes so simple, There's less to talk about. There's less to say. Because you know that you can just get up and go apply those things in your life. There's no uncertainty. There's no ambiguity about things. Winston Churchill said this one time, right? After World War II, he wrote a letter, and it was an end-of-war address. And what he said on that letter was, if I had more time, I'd write less words, okay? Now, what he was saying here was, when you become such a master of your reality, there's less to say. Right? Because it takes a very intellectual person, it takes a very intelligent person to boil down a message and make it very, very simple and concise. Okay? So, a lot of times I even feel like I'm redundant. I'm redundant with the words. How often am I redundant, right? Well, I'm very redundant, right? Well, it's because the principles for success are very simple. They're cross-industrial. It doesn't matter what industry that you're in. You understand these things about our reality, well, you get significantly better results. Right? And then all it is, I'd rather talk less. I'd rather see you guys go take action. I'd rather see you guys get up and call someone. If you guys have a business deal that you've been procrastinating on, there's a client that you need to close, there's someone that you love but you haven't told them yet, I'd rather see you guys do that, take action. I do this all the time with my clients. So I do these weekly masterminds, right? And a couple weeks ago, one of my clients goes, I really, really like this girl, but I'm nervous to talk to her. I don't know what to say. She doesn't respond to my text messages. I'm like, all right, cool, call her right now. There's like 20 people watching him on the Zoom call. I'm like, call her right now. He's like, nah. I was like, no, call her right now. Get your phone out. Brady, call her right now. His name's Brady. Brady, call her right now. So Brady pulls out his phone, and he tries to mute his microphone. I'm like, no. Turn on the microphone. Turn on the microphone. So he calls the girl. She immediately answers. And because we're all watching him, he freezes up like he's like, oh, and then he gets off the call. But guess what happened? Well, he was afraid and he was insecure about him getting rejected. Okay, and then he talked to her. He talked to her for like 5 or 10 minutes. Turns out the reason she didn't text him back is she was working like an overnight shift or something. And so like all of his anxiety was mitigated, right? So a lot of times I'd rather talk less and do more. All this talking, like all the strategizing, all the studying is no substitute for action. Yes? Say yes. Yes. Okay. No, you say yes. Yes, David Beckham. Okay, go ahead.
So, let's say you have a perception that you know your perception is off and it's not helping you, yet it's still there deep. Like, we talk about tactically how to change perception.
Well, give me some. Okay, so for on Zoom, he's asking about if there's a specific perception that's holding you back. How do you tactfully and tactically tackle that? So it would depend on the context of what the situation is. Sure. So what's the perception?
So the perception is that it's limited, hard to
Yeah, okay. Drovko, can you grab my water, the green bottle over there? So on Zoom, so he said that he was asking about money. So the perception is that it's hard to come by, it's scarce, it's difficult, all these things. Now, is that true? It's not true.
Logically, I know that.
Correct. So logically, right? So logically, he knows that. Now, I want to test you guys, see how in tune you guys are. How does he actually get this? What needs to happen? At what level does he need to integrate this? Emotions, emotionally. Okay, subconscious is the same way. Emotions are stored in your subconscious, okay? So the level of your level of mastery is going to be dictated by your subconscious. Actually, when we were doing we were going crazy earlier with Marcel, I kind of like almost blew up my voice. I went hard. You know? He said bring the energy, so I brought it. Anybody else almost lose their voice? Yeah! Who said yeah? You guys are more energetic than me. Let's go. Let's get it. Okay, so the truth is, your reality is whatever you make it. You can choose to be anything you want. There's no reason why I should be making the amount of money that I am right now. Right? Like the things I studied in university literally had zero impact on, like I studied professional sales and entrepreneurship. Okay? And I don't come from a rich family at all. Like I had to figure it out on my own. Figure it out. Just get it done. You know? And it's because I spent a long time rewiring some of those relationships I had. Right? Awareness. When you become so aware of how you're programmed for a scarcity of money, it starts to make sense. You realize, oh shit, like this has been like subconsciously, subliminally implanted in my mind. You know, the Rockefeller Foundation created this industrial complex of a schooling system to indoctrinate people to just be fucking robots, right? Finish the sentence. Money doesn't grow on. You guys, yeah, exactly, right? A penny saved is. Like, easy, right? If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is, right? If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is, right? These are all ingrained in our subconscious mind. It's taught to us, right? You're taught that if an income opportunity sounds too good to be true, it probably is. That money doesn't grow on trees. That it's hard to come by, right? All these things. But guess what? Like when you start to ask for more, and persistently, it's not just once. When you persistently ask for more, you get more, right? So maybe what kind of business do you run? Leadership consulting, right? So maybe right now, like this gets you inspired. You're like, all right, I'm gonna go take action. I'm gonna charge more. I'm gonna 10x my prices, right? And maybe you call a client, you call a past client something, and they say no. Well, does that mean it's hard to come by? No. You have to change your relationship with what difficulty is. It's not difficult to pick up the phone and dial it out again, but the reason you find it difficult is because your emotional wiring finds it's hard. Okay, so therefore it is. Now, when you change that emotional wiring, well, guess what? It becomes very, very easy, right? And almost like magic, you can just say, I want this. I want it this quickly and in this way. You know, something that I do, and a common practice, and if you guys want to take this from me, I hope you guys are doing this already, okay? I'll get you in a second, okay? I'm very big on prayer. Every single night and every single day before I wake up, every single morning when I wake up and every single night before I go to bed, I'm telling myself exactly the kind of vision that I want. And I'm saying it from a place of gratitude. I'm not saying, I hope, I pray that I get this. God, please help me. No, I'm saying, I am so grateful that I make a lot of money. I'm so grateful that I have amazing and supportive friends. I'm so grateful that I'm so confident that I can go out and do anything that I want. I'm so grateful that my level of health is high. I'm so grateful that my spirituality is massively connected. Okay? I'm not asking. And by the way, you know, this is something I say jokingly, so take this with a grain of salt, right? But do you guys think God is so dumb that you have to ask him and beg him to get what you want? No. He's omnipotent. It's omnipotent. It's energy. It's just energy, right? So when you feel as if that energy is happening for you right now, you get more of it. Does that make sense? So the internalization of this, it can happen in an instant, right? That's why we're all here, right? Who wants that instant breakthrough? Say aye. Aye. Say yes. Yes. Say yes. Yes. Okay. That's the beauty of it. If you want that instant breakthrough, you can have it. You just have to allow yourself to receive it. Allowing. If I were to add a fourth thing here, it's just allow. I'm going to add a fourth thing. We can improvise, okay? You can be flexible with life. You might have a plan, You might have a plan of attack, and then life throws a curveball, or it throws you an inspiration. It throws you a different idea, and you're like, okay, you got to roll with it, roll with it. Allowance, okay, allowance. Say it again. Allow. Yeah, we're gonna wrap up here in a second, guys. But allow. I want you to allow. This is almost like the feminine polarity. We're talking about polarity. This is the feminine polarity. The masculine polarity is penetrative, right? Get up, take action, pick up the phone and dial it. Go approach whatever person. Go grind on your business. Go crush the gym. Okay, that's like the masculine, penetrative polarity. The feminine is you allow yourself to receive it. This is, and you seem pretty fit. You seem like the kind of guy, like if you're into leadership consulting, you're probably consistent. You're probably used to communicating with people. You probably have good sales skills. You understand how to deliver a compelling call to action. These are probably all things that you know how to do, right? But in order for you to get to that next level, right, it's almost like you have such a deep trust in the universe to deliver to you what you want. And this is allowing yourself to receive those things. So many people, and I think this might resonate with you of all things that I've said, so many people think you need to work hard and you need to work 10 times more than the next person, and you're smiling because it's a smile of familiarity. You're like, yeah, it's like, I think I need to work harder, I need to put more hours, I need to create more and more and more. And that is true. Like, as your energetic bandwidth goes up, it becomes easier to create more. But the reality is also, there's probably people working half as hard as you that are making 10x the money. Yeah. Exactly. It is infuriating, right? Well, guess what? And they're probably dumber, and they're less good looking, right? And it's because they've allowed themselves to receive those, the blessings and the abundance, right? They've put themselves in such a state of allowing, I'll get you in a second, that those things happen for them, almost like magic. It's like they don't even have to try, and things happen for them, right? Who wants that kind of energy? Say yeah. Woo! Frictionlessness, okay? The allowing of yourself to receive is one of the most important aspects of mindset mastery, because that part right there is what creates a frictionless reality. There's no resistance, right? Because again, there's a lot of successful people here in this room. A lot of people flew on private jets to get here. There's a handful of people, okay? So some of these people have massive amounts of money, but it feels there's so much friction. There was so much friction to get there, right? You see people that they just grind and grind and grind, and it's like almost like like a wolf that's been attacked by all these other wolves. It's just like, ugh, like can't trust. You ever hear talk like rappers and shit, like can't trust anybody. Yeah, like don't trust your friends and stuff. It's like, bro, like what? Like nah, man. Like love expands. So you don't want to be that guy. You want to be allowing, okay? And if things go wrong, if someone fucks you over, okay, But you just have so much love and expansiveness that you can look those things by, see people for who they are, and just understand that they're at a lower vibration. Right? So if you're at a higher vibration, don't lower yourself to their level. Just continue to be high. Does that make sense, bro? Good. Good question. I'll get back to you. What was your question? Yeah, I got you. So again, more allowance, right? There's two different ways you can look at this, right? So Marcel's one of the best people at just like forcing state. And I call it forcing state, but it's just, he's in such a consistent state of high energy and high vibration that it's like natural. Me, I'm very honest with myself, so I can give myself the space to acknowledge when I feel the negative, okay? So I'm expansive. I'm a master of myself, so I can feel everything and still choose the best, right? Remember, I mentioned I had major depression and anxiety, so I literally spent a portion of time in my life to be like, what is this? Why do I feel this way? How did I develop this? Why am I so aware of all this shit? Like, God damn, I'm so mean to myself. I'm so harsh on myself, right? So I allowed myself to feel the lower, but that's why I get into consistent state of higher, because it's not scary to me. I have a familiarity with that darkness, but because I have a familiarity with that darkness, I can put myself in consistent states of light. Okay, so kind of like what he was, the example that he was talking about, right? The acknowledgement of that lower emotional state that, oh my gosh, that's also true. Right? Part of polarity is even dichotomy. Two things can be true about the same thing. Two things can be completely polar opposite and have equal truths, right? Because if you look at our reality, is our reality abundant and full of wealth? Yes, right? But is it also competitive and destructive and against you and sometimes, right? Those things are both true, right? So it's the acknowledgement of everything that allows you to be such an expansive person. And when you feel those things, it gives yourself the opportunity to get to that next level. And all you have to do, again, is just allow yourself to get to that next level, right? A lot of times, of all the things about mastering your mindset, right, we're all intelligent people in here. It's almost like you have to do less in order to get more. Less is more. Does anybody do sales in here? Right? Well, who's supposed to be doing more of the talking on the sales call? Yeah, exactly. Right, why did you raise your hand? Yeah, okay, yeah, what was your question? How do you, okay, so retention. So she's asking a question. So she goes, and we're going to wrap up here in a second, guys. It was a two-part question. What was the second part?
So the first one is, okay,
How do you allow? So how do you allow? And then once you have, how do you retain? Same thing, same deal, right? Who here has ever taken a test that they totally bombed? Say yes. I'm one of the few people that never did. Seriously. I'm one of the few people that never did, and it's because when I showed up to the test, I was calm. It wasn't a big deal to me. I wasn't like shitting my pants because of like some fucking questions, right? And I tell you, I'm very intelligent, but I'm not naturally a great student. Okay? When I did physics, I did advanced placement physics in high school, and I got a D in the class. But I ended up passing the exam, and my teacher was so impressed. My teacher was so proud of me. Like, seriously, he was so, Mr. Markland, right, in Miami Core Park Senior High School in Miami. He was so proud of me. He goes, Jose, like, I don't know how the fuck you did it, but you passed the exam, and it was a class of 30 people. Only 3 people passed the exam, and I was one of those 3. And mind you, it was like, I went to like an engineering magnet school where everyone is like, they just like knew math, right? They just fucking, you ever see those people that just know math, right? Maybe they're like experts at allowing themselves to be smart or whatever, but like, it just made sense to them. And I beat all of those people. Why? Well, it's because I allowed myself to have the knowledge, and I was calm. I was calm in the attainment of high-level grades and high-level achievement when it comes to academics. That when I showed up to the exam, I was so calm. So what I'm trying to get to is the allowance of like allowing yourself to receive those things is being familiar with good circumstances, being familiar with abundant circumstances, and then being calm about it. If you're a beautiful girl, do you care that a guy doesn't text you back? If you have a lot of options romantically, then that means you don't care if one goes away because you have so many. Same thing with finances, right? If you have multiple businesses, multiple 7-figure, 8-figure opportunities, are you mad that one deal goes sour? No. If you're hiring people, right, and you have a strong, solid team, and one of your best people leaves, are you upset? No, because you got more. You can find, and even if you don't have them in that moment, you can source them immediately, right? So it's a aspect of calmness, and it's that calmness and certainty that not only attracts what you want, but also keeps it in the long term.